Plugged it.
And there it is. All right. Welcome today. It's a Titan Talk today. Good afternoon. I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. Had a good weekend.
It's coming up.
Is it coming up?
Yeah.
Oh, today's Friday.
We've had a week and a half.
Man,
in
I'll
5
tell you
days.
what.
This has been the longest week of my
Okay.
life.
Well, that's on the internet forever.
We could delete it, but we've already started.
All right. So I hope everybody had a good week. There we go. And we're hoping for a good weekend. So, again, welcome to Titan Talk. Again, it is myself, Lieutenant Coop, and Lieutenant McFarland
Hola.
gracing you guys today. We appreciate everybody stopping by, and we look forward to talking to you guys in the comments today.
As always, I'm going to start us off with a pretty big new announcement for current employees and future employees. We have started or begun the process for daily pay. It begins August 2nd. This is an app that you download to your phone. I apologize for having to read this. I want to be accurate. Daily pay allows you to instantly transfer money you've already earned. Daily pay is an optional service, and there is no charge to participate. Daily pay does have withdrawal fees. It's $2.99 for an instant withdrawal and $1.99 for next day. I want everybody to understand that's nothing Titan has power over, or Titan doesn't make a dime off of this. The company as a whole doesn't. It's just, I mean, the business daily pay has to make money, and I'm not an expert on it. We're actually going to have our first guest next Friday. Aaron from HR is going to explain that. He's been working more closely and in depth with the daily pay company that we're going to start using. So he'll have more information. I'm just kind of giving a quick announcement about it. And so the fees are not paid by paid to Titan, but they're directly to daily pay. So more information will be coming on that. It's pretty exciting. So it'll allow you basically to work a shift, and then a certain amount of time. Don't quote me on this. We're gonna have more info later, but a certain amount of time after that shift, you can basically collect that shift's wages. Certain percentages and stuff will be talked about later. We forgot to shut the door. Whoops. Studio door is open. I think Coop's going to go grab that while I keep rambling here. It's our first time we've done that. But we're at the end of a hallway, so it really shouldn't be a problem, but we just heard somebody go away. We are going to, like I said, give more information on that next week, but that's pretty exciting for a lot of employees that want to be able to use the money from that shift that they worked in the same day. So that's a nice benefit. If you don't necessarily do that every shift, let's say something on your car breaks down or something, and you're just hard up for cash at the time, and you've worked a week and a half, and you can cash out a chunk of your paycheck already, so you can get that taken care of, so you can continue to go to work and stuff like that. So we think it's going to be really beneficial. A lot of companies are starting to use it, and so it's just an option. You don't have to. If you don't want to, you can still get it the same way we get our paychecks. So it's just an option for those of you that want to take advantage of that perk. So that starts August 2nd, and again, next Friday. Exciting. We're going to have a third person on.
Yeah.
And
So
got new equipment and all that stuff coming in. So we're growing as best we can, and the more of you guys participate, the more quickly we'll grow, and the more cool stuff we get to do.
yeah. So on that note, with our guest that will be here Friday, we'll have new equipment in hopefully at the beginning of the week, and it'll buy me some time to kind of put it all together, make sure it's all set up. And
Yeah, no pressure. I've already told him what's going to happen, so he's got to make it happen. But
same level, if not better, content. So we'll have our first guest Friday, and that'll hopefully add that little bit of extra, and he'll be able to go a whole lot more into detail about this daily pay and make sure that you guys get all your questions answered real quick and on the basic kind of detail on that. And then he's also going to provide you with additional information in case there's more questions that he doesn't have answers to, or would be easier for someone else to explain.
Sure.
So that'll be phenomenal to have a third person on the stream.
Yeah.
And get them going that way. So again, welcome everybody. We appreciate you stopping by today. Kind of just a easy show today, and
we've
had a break for the weekend.
We've had a long week. We laid our good buddy Danny to rest on Wednesday. We had a big staff meeting this week, so we've been running around. There's been things that have kind of added to our workload this week, and So it just, like he said when he started, hopefully everybody had a good weekend. It feels like we need one.
Yeah,
So
it definitely feels like it's been a long week,
Yeah.
and it's already going to the weekend. So
yeah, thankfully the weekend's coming.
all right, well,
Just a second here.
good. Other than that, some updates on the podcast or stream, and we keep switching back and forth between the two, but some updates on that with that new equipment. We'll be able to start getting guests in, and we'll start being able to hopefully get our scheduling manager down here, maybe get Ryan on the podcast, get our director of security, Leon, out here as well, and kind of get you guys some more overview of some of the stuff that we've all been working on up here, and going to get you guys some more information on that stuff. Just make sure that we're keeping everybody, in that constant communication that we have talked about over and over and over again, to make sure that we get you guys as updated as possible on all of that stuff that we've been working on.
Yeah, one thing I think I'd like to do too in the future, we usually have an officer of the month and a supervisor of the month, and I think it might be a cool perk to maybe bring them on and go over some things that they do on their day-to-day that may set them apart, or may have been why they got Officer of the Month. We give out awards quite a bit. We try to give you guys as much recognition that you guys obviously deserve, but we try to recognize it so you guys know that you're appreciated. So we'll do lifesaver awards if someone out in the line of duty, we've past examples, people have had heart attacks and strokes and fallen and hit their head and passed out, and our guys have rendered aid in a timely manner to where it's probably made the difference in life or death. So we've added those awards in the past, and so anything like that, we'd like to maybe pull somebody on. Like I said, this third person feature is going to be really cool, that we get to bring somebody on, and it's not just our two ugly heads you're looking at and listening to each week. So we can add a little spice to it and kind of grow as a podcast. And a lot of the major podcasts out there will regularly have guests and stuff, and that's always going to be something we're going to try to do and give you some notice, so you guys can set aside some time to or make time to watch us. And if it's somebody that that works here and you want to ask questions, again, that like you said, that line of communication's got to stay as open as possible. So it's almost August, which is,
I'd say it's
allowed to be decoration. Or
no, we're not
yeah,
going to bring that up again. We got
fall decor will be up August 1st.
Well, the fall decor is one thing. I'm okay with
I
that.
pick and choose my battles.
Oh, it's the other stuff that we're not going to bring back up. We're not going to. No, that's just not.
That's fair.
Happen.
I just had to bring up fall stuff because it's still hot out.
So, looking at other things, we'll go over some weather for the weekend. It's looking like it's going to be a moderately warm weekend, hopefully. It's looking anywhere between 80 and 87. No rain. Looks like either partly cloudy or clear skies. So keep hydrated. Make sure you were keeping up with that stuff. We want to make sure everybody stays well hydrated for those mildly warm to warm weekends, and make sure that we stay there. So make sure that we're keeping up with that stuff. Leon is now on his own YouTube, so he no longer has to steal his son's.
He's a blue dot now?
He's a blue dot now,
That's what
and he's in chat. And he says, McFarland already looks sweaty.
I'm not. It's just the lighting.
You know what it is? It's that light you got turned on. It shows the extra to it.
It is warm in here, but I'm not sweating yet.
It's not that bad.
I'm staying hydrated with some high-quality H2O.
See, at least there's no heater on in here, that's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like, oh, no, Ryan does have his heater over here.
Oh, no.
It's not on, but he does have
Make sure
it.
that thing's off. You're very... okay, so we're not going to bring up the fact that I had to set that up for you. He says I'm very tech-savvy.
Yeah. Getting there.
So, other than that...
it's a pretty light episode
It's a pretty
today.
light episode.
We haven't had, it's been a busy week. So.
With the long week that it was, today's kind of a... Get some information out there for the daily pay, so that way you guys have some introductory stuff to it. We'll be sending out emails, some pamphlets to go along with that, just to kind of give you guys some information. There's an app to download.
Ooh,
that'll have that stuff on there.
I am going to interrupt, but not to interrupt, but I am going to interrupt.
Let's say, but you are going to
Help at TBC Security, the same one we set you guys up for with your login or your clock in, clock outs, is also accepting questions, comments, concerns about the daily pay. So that is another resource for you to reach out to if you're unsure. And again, more information will come out Friday, so we hope you guys tune in, and we'll be able to answer. We will be able to answer your questions, or Aaron will. And if there's any questions you want me to ask him, drop them in the comments. because I will basically be interviewing him about that and then giving him the floor to kind of just explain what it is more in depth. But also that help at tpcsecurity.com is another resource for you guys to reach out to.
Leon would like us to talk about the number one clock in and clock out mistake that is made by officers.
Ooh, that's a good one. It's probably a toss-up between being outside the boundary, which isn't necessarily their fault unless they're down the street trying to clock in, or missing that threshold.
So on that note with the boundary that you were actually just talking about, I was just talking to Leiden, who actually helped set up some of these boundaries to get stuff correct. And there were a couple of major ones that were kind of encompassed the entire city because that's where the property does. And they're so large that they've been overbearing on it. We actually got that updated to where those aren't interfering anymore. So it should make it a whole lot easier with that boundary. So as long as they're within the property lines, they should be okay now. Or
Okay.
should.
Yeah, theoretically, it's technology.
Yeah. So that will hopefully add some of that ease in there. And again, remember, guys, when it comes to that, if you're still running into issues with the app, there's the phone number. There's that help at TPC Security email that will help get all that stuff set up to make sure it's correct. It will help add the kind of the backups into that to make that easier. Worst case scenario, if you guys are running into continuous issues, if the phone number that was provided for that should present a permanent clock in type thing. So if that worst case scenario, the number that was given you guys, it should take over and get you guys clocked in on time.
Yep.
So that's always a plus. There's having those layer upon layer of backups.
Yeah, sorry, we're down a guy so far today, so we're kind of having to run these phones as well. We're not ignoring you guys, I promise.
Well, the only one right now is Leon. He's the one talking to us.
Well, that's a good thing.
Oh, well, Leon brings up another good point here. Leon, you're on fire today. Says, Ryan, talk about the biggest report mistakes that you have seen.
Actually, something I wrote down. One thing I noticed now that I've been tasked with helping audit reports is really it's just proofreading before you send it. I think a lot of people use talk to text, and that's okay. I have no issue with that. Just go back through and make sure that certain words aren't capitalized that don't need to be, or ones that are. And make sure, we're using commas and periods and stuff. I mean, just your simple grammar stuff. And I don't think it's for lack of knowing it. It's just trying to get it out quick. You had an incident, your adrenaline's going, or you are trying to get it done in a timely manner because you're afraid that you're going to be on your phone too long. Simply just reach out to us and we can kind of help you go through that stuff. But just take a deep breath. Make sure you go back through and proofread it. Most of them I see are pretty good. I mean, some are better than others. But if you want more info on that, you guys can always reach out, and we have templates we can give you too that kind of give you step by step of how.
Funny thing about that, actually, Leon just mentioned, and I remember him talking about this a little bit ago. So Leon, thank you for making sure that I remembered that. Him and Ryan Smith, they're actually coming up with a report writing video to give a little bit to actually give a whole lot more detail on how reports should be structured and all of the key points that we're looking for when it comes to that, so that way we have all the information needed for the client.
Yep.
So we should see that coming out soon as well. So that will give you guys a full breakdown of reports. Keep in mind, we also do have the templates, so if that's something that you're looking for, we can...
Yeah, it's just an outline to kind of get you started. I mean, it's just a time, date, place. And once you get in the habit of doing it, it becomes easier because it's just second nature at that point. You already know where you're going to start, get to the subject, and then body of it, resolution, stuff like that. And so don't be afraid to reach out if you just are completely, it's one of your first shifts and you're just like, I have no idea where to start. They're going to be mad. Absolutely not. I'd much rather you say, hey, help me get through this, and I will go and take the time to step by step walk you through as best I can, and then give your best shot, and then we'll reach out and see if there's, hey, this is what you can do different, this is what you can do better, this, I need more of this, I need less of this kind of thing. So it's something you get used to over time, so don't stress out over it too much.
Anthony, welcome. We're glad you're here. Anthony joined and says, okay, I'm here. Yeah, he says he's here now, so we're good. Leon's bringing up more good points. Man, he is on fire today.
Almost like he's our boss.
I know, right? It's almost like he knows. So Leon said, talk about the biggest time off request mistakes. That's something that I used to run into all the time as scheduling manager, something I still kind of run into, helping Leiden with the schedule on the weekly basis. So the biggest thing that I run into, or that I've seen run into, is just not enough time. So when you've got something coming up, if you know a month in advance, the 30-day minimum is kind of where it really helps us. Mm-hmm. If you give us any less than 30 days, it makes it extremely difficult for us to organize and make sure that we can get those days. It's not impossible. I need to say that. It's not impossible, but it is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
The more time you give us on that, the longer I have to work with our brothers and sisters out there, making sure that we can get this stuff squared away, make sure that we can rearrange the week. Or
yeah, we have to have
work
somebody
weeks.
fill in for you while you're gone.
Exactly.
So, and we can't just, manufacture bodies. If we could,
We wouldn't have.
we would be out of a job probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
But staffing is tough. So just keep that in mind. If it's and we've talked about this in the past, if it's a wedding or something, you should know months in advance.
Right.
And so and that's important stuff we want you to go enjoy with your families and friends. And so we don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but if you come to us a week ahead and say, hey, I'm the best man in my brother's wedding, it's like, we probably should have known about this earlier. So do the best you can to give us the most timeline,
Now,
and we'll be accommodating.
Also, keep in mind, we do understand that things happen.
Right.
Family emergencies or emergencies in general.
Correct.
Your house floods because of
Emergencies
rain.
are a different boat.
That all happens. We can get that completely, and we'll work with it the best we can to make sure that everything gets squared away and you guys get taken care of. So don't worry about those items, because those are the one-offs that happen, and we take care of you with those as well to make sure it's all taken squared away. So, but the biggest thing there is time notification. The longer you give us to work with it, the easier it becomes and the more likely it will happen. But on that note, there are going to be times like we just experienced this recently with the military drills. Every year the military sends out their course dates, more or less, kind of like a school does, and says,
Usually in
hey,
the summer.
these 2 weeks for these 100 people, are mandatory. They don't have an option. They have to come in. They
Drills,
have to
stuff
be
like
here.
that, yeah.
And so they'll send those out. And when you've got 15 to 20 people who need 2 to 3 weeks off for military training, it makes a huge dent in that, making sure that everybody gets equal opportunity to that time off. So sometimes you'll run into it where in the middle of the year, you'll have 15 officers out on military drill, and not everybody gets time off at that time.
Yeah. That's why it's good to get in early. What about
I was expecting him to. I appreciate you letting me know, though.
what do you say?
He said Kenny's coming to get the phone.
Oh. We just shut the door. We didn't lock it, though.
No, I didn't log it. So Leon, thank you for bringing those up. Those are some phenomenal talking points to bring up, and it's probably something that when we get Aaron in or we have Leiden come down and
Yeah,
join the
Leiden will be
podcast-
another really good guy to have on here. 'Cause
Exactly. We'll
he's
have
our-
them kind of bring it up and talk
Right.
a little bit about it a little bit more in deep detail, because they're going to know the most about it.
It can be a little boring to talk about, but if there's only 3 or 4 people out there that get some benefit from it, then to me it's worth it.
What is Leon coming in with on fire today? He's got another one. What's the biggest uniform mistake that officers can make? Now that's an interesting one, because that one's going to be more per person.
Yeah, the thing I think I run into the most, it's more of equipment than uniform, and you covered it in our duty belt video, which is on our Titan YouTube page, is the belt keepers. People
Yes.
see those, and it's like an enigma. They don't know what they're for, where to put them, and so that's when we run into. But as far as like other uniform issues, maybe cleanliness or fit. I'm a stickler for appearance. I mean, in this industry, it's huge. You got to look the part. So
Anthony, we agree. It's definitely keepers are the biggest one that, at least that I see, that are issued with. There are so many questions on them, and I think that Leon did a phenomenal job explaining that in our how to set up a duty belt video.
Yep, I mean those things they're super important, and to be the most confusing aspect of your rig is concerning, and that's why we address that stuff or decided to address it in that video, and hopefully you guys, if you guys do have questions, can find that video on our page, and it'll oh, there's Keen. Hi, buddy. We're live on the air. But yeah, so basically that. Another thing would be just, I mean, like I said, cleanliness is a big thing. Make sure your uniform's clean, nice, neat, ready to go. It shouldn't be something that you take off and throw on the ground after a shift and then go and pick it up and get ready for the next one. It's, I understand you can't wash it in between every shift, but make sure that you're hanging it up and keeping it nice and neat. So just presentation's big.
Something with that as well with the duty belts, the Velcro on the back. You want to be careful with dog hair, cat hair, anything like that will stick to it very well, and
Makes
it
it
will
not
be
as
near
sticky.
impossible to get off.
Yeah.
So you want to be careful with that, leaving stuff like that on the ground. That's hanging that stuff up's phenomenal. Charles, we're doing well. How about yourself? Welcome to the podcast. Let's see, Leon. We're both range instructors that we are. how should officers prep for range? Now, this is one I always, every time that you guys have range, we try to call and check on you guys to make sure that you have everything you need. It's very simple to me when it comes to checking for stuff for range. I actually make myself a list.
Yep.
And so I check it all off.
Well, we give them a list too.
Yeah.
And
And that's even better now because we do that.
Triple
And
check
so-
it because we'll have 4 or 5 year veteran guys forget their eyes or their ears, their eye protection or their earmuffs style like this. They'll go out to range and they live 45 minutes away and they're very punctual. So if you forget that stuff, they don't have extras and you will be sent home, stuff like that.
So a big thing when it comes to that list is when I'm setting myself up the day of range. So I know ranges are on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. When I'm getting ready to leave for it, I set all my stuff in kind of like not a pile, but just out in front of me. And then I'll go down my list. I'm like, okay, I got my ear protection. I've got my eyes right here. I've got my ammunition right here ready for that. My duty belt's all set up. Everything's good.
empty magazines.
My magazines
empty
are empty.
Weapon.
My weapon's cleared. And then I get it all set up in my bag. Make sure it's in there again. And then put it in the car. I check it one more time, and then I leave for range. That way, when I'm driving, I don't get that little voice in the back of my head that goes, "Hey, you left the stove on."
Yeah.
You know,
It's a coffee pot
hey, you
on.
left a magazine somewhere. It's like, no, I
Is
checked.
Kevin at home?
Yeah. So
Home Alone?
the
No.
list is the yes.
Okay.
We all know.
Wasn't that funny?
No.
Oh, well, there's a lot funnier in my head. But everybody's got a bed. Put it on your bed. Put your weapon out, cleared, 3 magazines, your duty belt, your belt keepers, your ammo, your eyes and ears, and then put it all in your bag. And then make sure nothing falls off your bed on the process, and you know it's all in there. It's just a simple, do it the night before. Don't do it 15 minutes before you're getting ready to leave, because you will forget stuff. Like I said, 5-6-year-old veteran guys have shown up, and it's embarrassing. And then we got to reschedule you, and it's just, those are important. So make sure, just checklists. We give you that checklist, just follow the checklist.
Anthony says to make sure to wear the correct uniform when you go to range. Absolutely.
Yep, that's another one.
If you show up in a regular T-shirt, you won't make it in.
Nope.
So you have to be in full uniform when you go there. So make sure your uniform's in neat condition. It's clean. It's ready to go. Just like you're going to a shift. The only difference is when you're going to range, you're going unloaded.
Yes.
So
that's the biggest difference. Got some other faces in there.
Charles says, is thanking Leon for the tip on how to set up a duty belt. That was a phenomenal video. I actually like that one.
The very
a whole
end
lot.
was some of the best parts.
It's just because you were in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's awesome. Charles is also eating lunch, so that's we actually just got done with ours about an hour and a half ago, roughly.
Yeah, probably. I brought my lunch. Coop dabbled in the food truck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we tried to pass up the food truck when it comes out here.
So other than that, we're doing good. Let's see. Other than that, some kind of mistakes that you'll see at range is a big one there is being on time. You'll notice that we actually schedule you guys a little earlier compared to what the paper you guys get from the range is. We do that to make sure that you have enough time to get there. So when you're taking that into account, we want you there early. We want to make sure that you guys are there on time. So that's a big one is that time constraint. Be careful of traffic. It will always mess with people. And unfortunately, they're the type out there that if you're late by even a minute,
Doors shut and locked.
They'll close you out
At the end of the time, and yeah. And I mean, they have to be. They get a lot of traffic through there, so there's no gray area with them, which is the way a range should be ran. It should be very, very cut and dry. This is what you're allowed to do. This is what you're not allowed to do. That's how we run our range at Titan. It's no different. So just prepare to be punctual and. Yeah, make sure. I've got one of our clients saying that she really enjoys the podcast. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh no, do I know this?
Yeah, I won't say names for
Phenomenal.
anonymity.
If it's who I think- is it who I think it is?
Anonymity. Yes.
Anonymous.
No, it's the anonymity.
What are we, Nemo?
Maybe.
Anonymity.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
No, he hasn't, and I'm going to do everything I can to keep that reference away from here. So I'm really glad he's blind and can't see the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to move on.
Yeah, but they're going to get me a tablet.
I'm going to regret
They're
that.
going to get me a tablet. It's going to sit right here, and I'm going to be able to read the comments. So I'll be able to fire back. No, I'm not sweating.
Charles says the tip on keeping eyes on your surroundings and on your and on the tools in your belt, that helps as well. It is.
Is that Charles, one of our officers?
I sound like I have head injuries. I have head injuries. Thank you.
I had quite a few in football in high school.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Him. Yeah. No. Absolutely. He does.
Yeah.
I guarantee he has head injuries too.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple concussions, probably a couple undocumented ones as well.
More than a few.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So definitely some good tips and some of those old videos that we have, guys. So if you have questions, if you look those videos up, we got some de-escalation stuff out there. How to do your setup, how to set up your duty belt. So that information out there is phenomenal.
Yep.
And
you'll
it's
see
always,
more of those come out too. That's kind of Ryan, the owner, his kind of pet project that he's doing with all these videos. And as ideas come, we put together what we can to be as informational as possible, and hopefully you guys enjoy them. And check out all the videos on our YouTube page. They're all pretty informational, and they kind of just give you a different outlook and perspective into things that you wouldn't think about or see necessarily if we didn't have the channel. So I see more. There's a lot of blue dots over there.
Leon says that Ryan is a Dorcas, not you, the owner.
We're not.
Well,
we're not getting in between them two. I don't think is Ryan on there.
I haven't seen him yet. I'm hoping he joins so they can. I always love their banter back and forth. Makes it more entertaining for everybody.
We get stuck in the middle of it.
So,
is that Charles that works for us?
Yeah.
Okay. He was the one we were talking about earlier, right?
Yes.
Charles, we're a fan. We appreciate your hard work, buddy. We really do.
There was a question earlier. Yeah. So to answer, there was a question: where are we located? We're in the Kansas City metro area.
As far as like our headquarters or where we work at?
How
many sites do you think we have? Hundreds? I know we have hundreds. How many?
Counting everything?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
170.
A healthy hundreds. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're everywhere.
Get off my phone. No. you loaded us up. No, it is your fault.
We're as far north as like the Leavenworth area, and we're as far south as the Belton area. I don't know if we go all over the place. We have, and another good person to have on here to be Lieutenant Roses for like we do temporary stuff that could be in Kentucky, and if we can make it happen, we try to be as accommodating as possible, and that gets us some good business out of helping out clients in a pinch. And then they're like, hey, we really like the way you guys do business, and we're like, well, yeah, that's how we operate, and they pull us on full time. So we're kind of all over the place, and we're trying to grow as much as we can. We got to get good guys to facilitate the good work, and we're doing everything we can. So I see a lot more blue dots.
You do not even know how to spell Kentucky. I was trying not to laugh.
That's not even a hard one to spell. Like Tennessee, I gotta use the T, and then Mississippi. That's another
hard one for me. But it doesn't help that I kind of can't talk sometimes. So most of the time,
it's probably head injuries.
Yeah, I guarantee you, it's the head injuries. Kentucky's not that bad. I mean, I can look at it right here and cheat, but I mean, it's really not.
But he might not even spelled it right.
Well, I give him a better chance than you.
Probably.
So there's always that.
So I don't think we have anything big for the weekend. I think that's pretty much the gist of it before we just bore you guys to death. Yeah, nothing major. I mean, and that's another good thing for Lieutenant Roses. We have temp gigs coming up and stuff that is in the pipeline that some officers may be interested in. Get you guys some extra hours. I mean, we're always open to give you guys extra hours and in a safe manner. So. That's stuff we can talk about. So
Leon, we'll definitely see you next episode, and thank you for joining us today. But realistically, guys, that's actually probably I think all we have today. The big thing takeaway from here is we've got that new daily pay coming in, and again next Friday we'll have our HR director Aaron in, and he'll be we'll have him discuss it with you guys and give a little bit more information so we can get some good info out there. There'll definitely be some pamphlets coming out for it as well, so you guys get those.
Yeah, I think we sent a memo.
Again, you loaded us up. It's your fault.
Is he yelling at us again? Yeah. I think we sent out a memo on Lighthouse with some literature on it or some links. So check Lighthouse messages for that. And
there'll also be some information as well in your eHub.
Correct.
So you guys go down to the documents section. There'll be a bunch of information on there as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, no, it's both.
It's both. It was sent out
Check
as well.
both, and then again, if you got questions, that help at tpcsecurity.com. They will give you links and stuff, because Daily Pay will probably be who you go to most of the time if you're having issues or questions regarding the actual app for Daily Pay. That would be something you go to them, and because that's under their umbrella. So it can be a little confusing, but hopefully it's beneficial to you guys that want to use it. And we'll have more info on Friday. So pending, no pressure, that Coop gets everything set up. He's got a lot of work to do ahead of us.
So again, we appreciate everybody coming out. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let us know in the comments. I try to read all those read those daily to make sure that we keep up to date. If we didn't talk about it in this podcast, hopefully we can get it set up on the next one, and then get you guys some get your questions answered, and then Beneful.
Yeah, I said beneficial. It's probably a word.
No, I mean it is with you.
Beneficial.
But so we appreciate it. Stay hydrated. Like I said, it's going to be moderately warm this weekend with sun out the entire weekend. So at least that's what the Weather Channel says. Again, I can be a weatherman on this and
We
be
can
okay.
and be wrong. So
So
stay safe out there, guys.
we appreciate you guys joining us.
Have a great weekend.
Enjoy your weekends.